This message is for all the no SABO adults, no SABO kids. If that is not you, you can keep scrolling. No SABO adults, now that you're here, this message is for you. April the 5th, 2025, Democrats and liberals are calling out for a nationwide protest against President Trump. Their main goal in life is to impeach President Trump by whatever means possible. Specifically, there's a group that was formed back in 2016 that calls themselves the indivisible progressives who hate Trump and want to see him impeached at whatever cost it may take. And for that reason, they're manipulating all minorities to fall into this trap or whatever you want to call it, to be able to fulfill, like I said, their number one goal, and is to impeach Trump. When Trump has only done what is best for this country. Yes, I said it. He has a mission in this life, and he knows it. God preserved his life, and God placed him in office as President of the United States for a second term for the sole purpose of saving this nation, whether you like it or not. Those are facts. However, Democrats and liberals have refused to give up. They are angry. One, Elon Musk and his genius team of young adults are disclosing all the dirty laundry, all the trash that has been happening behind doors within the government, and that has them very upset. Trump has put a stop to all their woke agenda. No more transgender operations for little kids, for children. No more government-funded transgender operations for prisoners. No more boys competing with girls in sports. No more men competing with women in the Olympics. No more men going into little girls' restrooms. I mean, he's such a terrible man. Such a terrible man. My goodness. No more funding for these baby unaliving facilities. Facilities who were conveniently, purposely placed in minority neighborhoods. Yes, where there's more Hispanics, more African Americans who could make use of them. Meaning more unaliving of children of Mexicans, Latinos, and African Americans. Let me just tell you, if you hate Donald Trump because he's trying to deport people, maybe you should be mad at Biden for allowing this immigration chaos. Instead of solving the immigrant issue within the United States, what does he do? He opened the borders wide open for everyone to come in. And not just that, he live broadcasted to the whole world to know that he was going to allow people in who needed asylum or whatever. Isn't that nice of him? He told them he wasn't going to turn anyone around, and he didn't. Not even criminals. He allowed them right in. Wasn't he such a nice president? Oh my goodness. I'm just wondering, how come these Democrats, these liberals, these groups that are now calling for you to join them in these protests, where were they when Biden didn't pass an amnesty for the immigrants within the United States back when he was president? Why didn't they do anything for y'all back when Obama was president? All Obama did was give you a DACA, a protection order. Why didn't he pass a real immigration reform? And when he didn't, why didn't these Democrats, these liberals, call out for a protest to demand that he did? Now most of the DACA recipients, they're in limbo. They don't know what their fate's going to be. I mean, and that's enough for you? And that's enough for you to say you're a Democrat, a liberal? Going out on April the 5th and marching with these Democrats and liberals is not your battle. And if you're thinking you're less Mexican or less Hispanic or less Latino just because you don't, you're wrong. You're wrong, because not joining into these crazy protests that these Democrats, these liberals, are calling out for, not joining in them, you're doing more for the immigrants than if you did. What have we seen happen in these previous protests that we have seen all over the United States? People burning American flags while they're holding a Mexican flag. Only God knows if they're really Mexicans. But they're making us look really bad when you're holding a Mexican flag and burning an American flag. That's sending the totally wrong message to the government. Wouldn't you be mad? That doesn't fly by in Mexico, believe me. It doesn't. You hurt a Mexican flag. And man, people will make you pay for it. They won't even wait for the government to make you pay for it. So just think about that. Just think about it. And at the same time, they're instigating and telling you how bad Trump hates us. I've received messages like, oh, you defend Trump because you want to be white like him, but you're never going to be white. Really? Who do you think is behind all these Democrats and all these liberals? Who do you think is sponsoring all these protests? Who do you think wants him out of office? It's the same people, the same nationality, the same skin color. They're also Anglo. Like, do you not realize that? I am so glad that the African American people are waking up. They are. Ever since they started advertising this April the 5th march, this protest, they took it upon themselves to start sending out messages to the African American community not to join in. They know what it's about. And they realize that these Democrats, these liberals, specifically the ones advertising this march, this protest, have never done anything for the African American community. So why would they keep joining into these chaotic protests? I'm just telling you. You know, SABO adults participating in these protests is going to cause more harm than good for the immigrant community. You know, recently I saw on the news where there was an ICE raid at a facility in El Cajon, California. So convenient that ICE had already investigated them for hiring illegal, undocumented people. They knew ICE was coming. They did nothing. Just think about that. And ICE doesn't go to random places unless they already have a tip. Someone has already called them and told on whoever. So just think about that. This is a war between evil versus good, good versus evil. This is not a war between Mexicans and Trump. This is not a war between liberals and conservatives. This is not a war between Democrats and Republicans. This is serious. This is good versus evil. And you decide which side you want to stand up for. God bless.